No, the show will not just be this because
Oh, wonderful. My name
I,
is Dylan Gosh, and
I
the internet immediately
demand.
froze.
Oh, did it really for you? Not me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestler Review. My internet is crisp and clear because guess where I
Mm.
am? Not Canada, not under the thumb of Edward Rogers. I'm under
Yeah.
I'm under the dick of Boris Johnson.
BJ got fucking bounced, dog. Good.
Yeah, but he's still there.
Of
You know
course he
why?
is.
Let me
I'll
say this
leave.
about let me say this about Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson is really repping it out there for the dickhead white guy that just kind of coasts. Like that, like are you leaving? Yeah, I'm out of here. Where you,
What was
are
the
you
thing he said? What was the guy? Oh my God, who was the guy? Something my name, something my nature. That's what he.
naughty by name, naughty by nature?
No, the reason that he got ousted was the final straw was, at least according to one report I said, was there was a man who was like feeling up all the male
Yeah. That was what got him
interns,
out.
and he said, I forget what the man's last name was, but just for safety's sake, it was like he instead of reacting to the man, it was like, hey, you can't do that. He said he just nicknamed him Toucher by name, Toucher by nature, because his last name was Toucher. That's not actually his last name,
No,
but
his last name was Pincher.
yeah, Pincher by name, Pincher by nature. So he was like, that's actually a dope nickname. So you're staying around because I got to say that for at least a couple of years, dog.
Yeah, here's the
Good
thing
for him.
you gotta know about me, Boris Johnson, is I value nicknames over people's butts getting pinched, which is why I now work for World Wrestling Entertainment. Ladies and
He got a
gentlemen,
jacked up laugh on that one, and then he decided, you know what? You're staying here, which is
exactly.
how everything worked in the 80s and 90s, to be fair to him. Let's be
Yeah,
We're the only podcast that's fair to Boris Johnson.
I think that is true. Listen, if you've literally never had to work and you just are like, I
Mm-hmm.
want to do this thing, and it always works out. Here's the thing with Boris Johnson is I know some people that are starting to reckon with this as they hit their mid 30s is that like they've never nothing's ever been hard because they've been very lucky or attractive or both. And a lot of this is dude especially a lot of dudes are hitting that wall, but let me tell you
Mm-hmm.
who never hits that wall, which is the guy that figures out, you know what, if you're just kind of confident, people will fuck you. And that guy never hits a wall because like he's just still he's like he's confident and looks like that and it's like, yeah, someone's gonna suck that dick. The rumor is he got sucked off in the home office by the woman who's now his wife, and
Who?
she
BJ?
BJ got a BJ.
Double Beach. Well, that was like when the fucking Nancy Reagan was revealed that she was like fucking no gag reflex, just deep in balls and shaft in the MGM parking lot, and then was like, and then obviously didn't like drugs,
Yeah.
but she's fucking sucking the pubes off of some balls, and then was like,
What
don't do drugs.
When did that happen? I don't remember any of this being
You don't
divulged, but
remember all the memes? It was like, it was literally for a week. It was like Nancy Reagan throat goat. That was like every single fucking meme was Nancy Reagan sucking dick.
the internet
Liddy.
is so many different rivers of shit. So it was
Yeah.
probably just the same. I was looking at something that was a river of shit somewhere else. Like it was the same week that I don't know, Vince McMahon said the N word. So I was distracted by that.
When everyone remembers that he said the N word, and they're like, okay, well, I guess he's just. That's the great thing about Vince McMahon.
What do you think? So okay, let's talk quickly about
Let's talk
Vince.
slowly.
Okay, very better. Do you think the TV, if it's they've gone TV 14A, they're bringing this storyline to television? Is that what is that what you think? Because that's what I think.
So apparently, now obviously, we're doing the worst thing possible, which is we're going to basically
Wildly
John is in
speculate.
Edinburgh. Dylan has a million shows, a vacation upcoming, and a child. So what we're doing is we're recording a podcast. This is now July 17th. This is for release on July 24th. So 9,000 things have happened. Vince McMahon may legally own the United States because he purchased it somehow. But as of right now, TV 14 was not WWE's decision. That was literally like a USA thing. They were like, you
That's
guys own
even
TV
better.
14 now.
That's even like
Isn't that
why?
crazy?
You know why, Vince? Like
I think
imagine.
because which makes sense. If you take out of the like Vince McMahon aspect of it, coming from USA's perspective, by all of the metrics, like it's not a children's show anymore. It's for weird adults. So it's like, well, let's just talk specifically to those weird adults.
I know, but what's weird about that is why I do think it's related to Vince McMahon is they've been talking to those weird adults for effectively 11 years. The Summer of Punk was the last time anyone mainstream lifted the lid of wrestling, and now it is
Mm-hmm.
just It is just us and the children we eventually make. That is who is into wrestling.
Not even though, man. Where was it? Like my friend was saying he went to an AEW show and the guy's kid was like, "Are we gonna see John Cena?" And the dad was like, "No." Like,
Yeah.
it's like, "No, I brought you here. We're seeing the things I like."
No, we're
great.
yeah, exactly. We're gonna see some goddamn strong style, you little shit. Speaking of
Yeah.
strong, yeah. If your mom's friend Todd had some strong style, maybe I could fucking move back into the basement.
We're gonna see some Japanese wrestlers that I've heard are good on podcasts, and I'm gonna pretend to know their moves.
Here's the thing that's so weird about our generation being parents is that we are going to do things like, if you do not watch your Shinsuke Nakamura debut match, you do not get to then do your homework. That we will be like that, but also we all know how to tell when our kids are on drugs. Like, because there were so many more designer drugs by the time we were doing drugs, your parents weren't sure what the hell that was caused. Now I'll be like, been speaking to Kenny, haven't you? You know what I mean? Like, we'll just be able to tell right away.
I don't know, man. I think our parents' generation, or at least parents in general, now that I am a parent, it's like, oh, my mom may have understood how wasted I was. She just like was too tired to deal with it. It's like, what's gonna happen? He's already home. He's gonna go to bed. Like, who cares? I'll deal with this in the morning. I worked 11 hours in heels. I don't have time to just be like, hey, you're drunk. And then what's my son gonna go? Yeah. It's like,
you're goddamn right.
You're goddamn right. Now I'm gonna go into the backyard and take a dump. Give me a hell yeah, too late, already doing it.
Don't watch me, mommy. Don't watch me.
But yeah, USA. I like the USA Network being like, you guys got to go TV 14, and Vince McMahon just like taking his dick out and being like, then that isn't a crime.
Yeah. Do you think that Vince McMahon just had in his briefcase is just like a couple of NDAs just in case?
I think that he just like always has an NDA under you and you don't really know, and you just he figures out how to make you do the hand do the motion of your signature without.
I think that's 100% true. I also think that the USA executives that go and speak to Vince McMahon, that is a shit detail. That is the new guys that just got hired. You're like, well, I'm now in charge of West Coast. Oh, you're the new guy on the board. Well, now you have to talk to Vince McMahon and let him know it's 14A. By the way, you probably want to wear a bulletproof vest. Why? Well, he likes to try and hunt us. Like, we'll pull into the parking lot and the lights will just completely dim and we'll just hear, bam, and he'll just shoot at the car with a gun.
Well,
and then he'll just scream, shoot. He keeps just screaming, it's a shoot interview.
Here's a shoot interview.
Here's a shoot interview.
On an island, and then
I hunt you with John Laurinaitis. If it comes out that him and John Laurinaitis were having what I think it may be is we're like cruisy, like sexual harassment bros. That's what I think it was.
Jeez. Well, I mean, and this makes sense too, is that Laurinaitis, obviously we know the stories of like him just picking female wrestlers out of bikini magazines he saw. So he's like full. He thought the casting couch was like just a very effective way to hire talent.
If they don't want to sleep with me, then why do I have to tell them that I won't get them a job if they don't? That's what I want to know.
And also, John Laurinaitis' main two assets as a professional wrestling executive are, number one, he just does whatever. And then the second one is that, and this I don't think this gets brought up enough, he's the only professional wrestler you can put a suit on, and he looks like an executive of something.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
If you look like Dutch Mantel put in a suit, it looks like Dutch Mantel's going to court for something he did.
Yeah. Like if you brought Dutch Mantel...
I played January 8th. That made January 6th look like a whole pile of dog shit.
Hey, here's the first thing you need to know about this court. It is not a naval admiral court, so therefore, as a sovereign citizen, you have no... Do you know how many sovereign citizens...
Just a bunch of guys that wear the night shift talking about being a sovereign citizen. I don't think I've ever heard anyone who doesn't work the night shift talk about being a sovereign citizen. God bless you if you do work the old fucking 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., but you're fucked. Like, you're fucked.
Let me tell you. So I'm currently in the process of moving from one home to another home because of my multiple bed bug infestations. And part of that is just a lot of heroin addicts have moved into my neighborhood. Like, it's just the sad reality of it. It is pretty cool. And I stopped at a 7-Eleven to get gas. and also buy a nice treat. And I walked in and there was just a bunch of different junkies like all around. And the guy behind the counter at the 7-Eleven was just smoking a cigarette inside. Like he was just like, and I literally was like, smoke. I said something like, "Ah, man, I used to."
Must have been like, I moved here 10 years too late.
A part of me was
if you're 26, you'd be like, we smoke inside now? I'll smoke out the bed bugs.
100%. Like, first of all, what it was I was like, I am right to be leaving this neighborhood. This was the right neighborhood to be a divorced man in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have a wife and a 7-Eleven where the guy smokes. You can't. Like, it's Dylan. Is anyone smoking inside in your neighborhood?
Type of wife.
Fair. Yeah, you're not. It's not good.
That's like we're married, but we still go to concerts. Then it's fine.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is. I don't think it's
concerts. I just made my own skin crawl. Yes, there are people that smoke inside because our neighborhood, which is crazy that it's now expensive, is because there's a lady on our street that the cops know. Like my identity stolen. The start of the pandemic?
Yeah, I remember this.
Yes, I had my identity stolen, and which, by the way, listeners of the Wrestler Review, very easy to steal someone's identity, apparently. So all you need is one piece of information, and then you just print off a bunch of weird cards that are also ID. Like every country takes a military ID, which
sure,
you can just get 100 phones in someone's name under a military ID. Tips on how to steal someone's identity by the Wrestler Review. Anyway,
yeah, welcome.
But there's a lady up the street who just is a huge drug addict, and she'll just let her huge dog out. Just the door's wide open. You can just walk in her house and take whatever you want. And still, homes here are like $1.5 million for a bungalow because of real estate. But to answer your question, yes. And that lady smokes inside so much.
Yeah, but not a business. This is a person's house. I'm talking like you walk into a grocery store and the guy is smoking behind the counter. Then we're in flavor country.
If the guy's working there and he feels confident enough in his job to just smoke inside, that's cool.
I got to tell you, Cigs Inside. You know that Cigs Inside is a big thing on TikTok, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, it blows my mind.
Because that whole generation never was like
yeah.
I have memories of smoking. There's a smoking. One great joke from a man who, like a lot of comedians, fell apart was like, the best thing was when restaurants had a smoking section and non-smoking section, but no wall.
Oh, yeah.
That's the peeing part of the pool, and then there's the rest of the pool. How do you divide it? Oh, we just have a buoy there. Doesn't the pee travel past the buoy? No. It's
heavier. It's heavier than water, and the buoy scares the pee.
The buoy scares the pee. But yeah, that's crazy. Cigs inside, that's dope. I mean, Vince McMahon, of course, hates cigarettes, loves molestation, so that's how you do it.
Here's
you smoking? If you weren't so attractive, I wouldn't harass you, but
yeah.
I'm already harassing.
Yeah, I was about to show you my dick for no reason, madam, and now that you're smoking a cigarette, I have that reason.
What do you think Vince McMahon met Harvey Weinstein, and although they, I guess, I don't want to say class, but like as far as tastes, they couldn't have more opposite tastes. Like I guess Harvey Weinstein produced all those movies that people still like, but then just go when they see who produced it.
Yeah.
But they imagine those two meeting and then just vehemently disagreeing on a lot of things, but then discovering like, wait a minute, you think your hands belong there too? High five.
I think what the thing is that no one was shocked. These Vince McMahon accused, like people were like no one was like the head of the world wrestling. Everyone was kind of like, I wonder if I wonder if anyone's going to do anything about this. Like no one was like, I cannot. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, like it was like everyone was just like
Weinstein was attached to so many like auteurs. Like he's the last guy who like basically was like, this guy's a director. He's gonna make the whole movie. He's gonna write it, direct it, produce it, edit it. He like supported auteurs, which is a very like high crust thing to do. Versus Vince McMahon is like,
all right, I've got 9 black stereotypes. Actually, I joked. That's 5. If you don't fit into one of these, you're fired.
All right, so
can you believe that guy who's the last person doing 1930s racial stereotypes?
Can you like the guy that I guarantee The Rock every day wakes up and goes, Vince McMahon does not know I'm black, right? Like, is that right? Because if Vince McMahon finds that out, he will erase The Rock from the like. What I thought? Where's Samoa? Like like it's insane. some of the things that we just expect from Vince McMahon. So that the fact that all of these investigations are happening, that he's continually just coming out on TV like nothing is happening, like it's
Oh yeah, and the report after the first or the second when he goes
It was
like,
this-
"Hey, I'm Vince McMahon and this is SmackDown," like whatever. He apparently went back to Gorilla and he was like, fuck 'em all," and then he did the whole show. He's like, "Fuck 'em, fuck those fucking women who are trying
this
to
is
get
this is what I think it is he's angry that his daughter has won the company. Like what I think it is Stephanie is going to win.
You think
Stephanie's
going to win the company.
yes, because
Ooh.
the stock price has not fallen drastically enough for it to be a thing where it's like, well, we need him at the top of the company. It's like, why? She's doing a perfectly serviceable job. Stock price hasn't dropped that much, and she hasn't like paid $12 million off. The one thing is that will save him is if he used his own money, he's fine. Is the problem?
Yes, and this is the other thing where it's like, so the Donald Sterling case, I would say, is the closest thing to something like this, where it's not a crime, but it's like
Yeah.
extremely disgusting. And the NBA is a conglomerate. The NBA is not is like an entity that has 30 owners within it. So those 29 other owners could bully Donald Sterling into selling. Even if they try and boot Vince
And by
McMahon
the
off as
way-
the CEO, he's not going to sell his shares ever. Remember that annoying Chris Jericho character?
Ever.
Again.
Yeah. You made the list. No one's enjoying this, Chris.
I made the list of cocks.
Yeah, the list of people that I will watch me do a juice fast.
You gotta watch the whole drinking and then the whole pooping.
Yeah. That way you understand everything it is to be Y2J. That's my favorite nickname. I could have taken the power, you know.
It was either me or Donald Trump. Anyway, I'm the
But-
Ayatollah of I don't believe it.
Yeah, Ayatollah. I'm the Ayatollah of not thinking those people should be welcome in America. Dylan's back for the butt crack. Dylan's back
Switch
Dylan's back from the butt
shirts
crack.
to like Streisand.
Oh yeah. What is this? Sarah Jessica Parker hosting the MTV Movie Awards in 1999. Come on, Dylan.
Because I'm ugly too.
No.
Horse-faced bitch.
Whoa,
That's all we came on to say. Good night.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
See you later. Thank you for tuning in. If you thought Vince McMahon was a criminal, welcome to the rest review. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not talk about
Ooh. No,
let's
can we
not
do
talk-
can we do the draft now? I want to do the draft. I think this will be fun. Oh no, you're frozen. Where's that?
I'm
me?
not frozen. I'm right here. It's you. My internet is crisp. My internet is clear. So we're going to do the draft. We're going to go.
You want pedophiles or sexual assaulters?
No, I think we just build it together. I don't want to back one of these teams. I don't want to be associated.
No, because people have to vote who has the best team.
No, you vote assaulters or pedos. We build
Yeah.
it together. Yeah, we're not doing. It's not a competition.
John
we
can't
tr-
pick which ones he likes more. That's why.
That's right.
I don't know.
I mean,
all right. Well, first overall, main eventer of the pedophile team, you got to go Jerry Lawler because now you got a Booker too.
that's exactly right. And also, the reason why you want to throw Jerry Lawler in there is he never been caught technically. Never been
I mean,
charged.
that's all right. That's a weird way. Yeah, sure.
Never been charged.
He was charged.
Oh yeah, Survivor Series.
15-year-olds were like, "Hey, you did this to us," and he's like, "Oh no, I didn't. Oh, you did that to yourself. Oh, by dressing like that.
No, it's
and it was
it's
Tennessee,
actually much
so
worse. It's so much
on.
worse. I remember this. It's the Survivor Series '93 one, and like all the newspaper articles are like, the woman who identified Jerry Lawler as the man in a trench coat who screamed, "Look at my dinky winky," may have been on drugs. So who knows what she saw?
yeah.
Yeah. Like it's all of the articles
King
are.
of Memphis, baby.
Yeah, exactly. The King of Memphis was bothered by a liar earlier this week.
I live my gimmick. Kings always have people trying to bring them down. Hoo
Yeah, hoo hoo. The Attitude Era is nothing compared to what goes on in that room. You're not allowed to go into.
hoo. Yum 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 time. Anyway,
Yeah, do you
Jerry
think
Lawler.
Jerry's called Vince and been like, Vince, here's what you got. Deny, just deny, baby.
no, one
You know,
foot in front of the other. Vince has always had this one foot in front of the other. It's like, hey, did you? It's kind of like Vince
That's true.
McMahon
Vince-
very much is like the Ted.
He's
have you heard
covered
the-
up-
have you- Sorry, go for it.
He's covered up a murder. Like, I don't know why I'm worried about Vince McMahon's fucking energy in this
I wouldn't
time
say
period.
I'm worried.
I'm concerned. If he goes, what's going to happen to our fun content?
No. I mean, yeah. I would say that Vince McMahon just puts one foot in front. He's like that. All right, so Ted Bundy used to just like apparently steal the display TVs from Sears. Like he would just walk in, pick the TV up, and leave. And it was such a brazen crime that people were like, I guess he's just allowed to do that. And Vince McMahon does that kind of shit too, clearly, and just like, and then he did you just fucking, what the fuck did you just do to that woman?
Tuna sandwich for lunch.
Yeah.
What?
Tuna sandwich.
And then he just walks
caught-
away. So it's kind
I
of like,
asked her.
I guess I'm wrong. I don't know.
I asked her if she was smuggling 2 fucking hams under her goddamn fucking sweater, and when she didn't respond appropriately, I asked her where was my memo, and then I realized I don't even work at this Staples, so I had to get out of here.
I just kept trying to fire her, and then I realized I don't work here, and then I went, wait a minute, I work everywhere. I'm a white man. You're fired.
Excuse me, is it possible for me to fire you? No, I'm a police officer. Okay, it's just, why are you at this airport? There's all these other people. It's just an airport. No, there's no one else.
The police don't
Like-
work because otherwise I'd be in jail. Ha ha.
Like,
ha.
I honestly think that all the impressions we've been doing of Vince McMahon on comedy podcasts were just the tip of the iceberg. You're going
There's a
Jerry Lawler
reason-
for
yes.
the P team.
mm-hmm.
Well, he's going to need some backup, and he's got it now. Grizzly Smith for the P team, and for the A team, that's the
Shawn
SA
Michaels.
team. Oh, you're going Shawn Michaels? See, I was going to go.
It's a top baby face for you.
They're asleep now.
Yeah.
Asleep. So I did my thing.
Sorry.
Yeah. Got her addicted to pills and cucked Chris Candido and then inject him with air bubble. Michael
This is also
Hickenbottom
based on,
lives his gimmick. He literally broke Chris Candido's heart. Gimmick liver.
The Heartbreak Kid came out on top in the game of life.
Yeah.
He's dead now.
The Heartbreak Kid. Oh, sure. It looks like one of my eyes is actually trying to get further into my brain to kill it. But that's just because it one time saw 2 men kiss. Welcome to the Heartbreak Kid. That's men breaking women's hearts, not men's hearts, because I am not a gay guy.
I guarantee that he does all his what's it called? He does all his NXT training on Zoom because he can't. He's too tempted when he's in the same room as a woman. He just has
Oh,
all these
100%.
pills.
He says a lot of really. Is there something about Billy Graham that was always like a crazy notion, which was he would never be alone with a woman that wasn't his wife, so that there wouldn't even be the question of impropriety. And looking back, it's like Billy Graham like just knew himself. He was like, if you leave me alone with any woman, I'm going to try and fuck her.
So
So
superstar Billy Graham or the preacher?
the preacher.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I assumed it was the preacher.
I mean, it was definitely. I bet you it's both for the same reason.
I don't know. I think superstar Billy Graham just loves steroids so much that a woman would get in the way. She'd be
That
like,
is
"Why
true.
are you doing
He's-
steroids?" And he'd be like, you just wasted 4 seconds of my life with a question that means nothing to anyone. So get out of my way."
He said the same wife this whole time, which is talk about an understanding woman.
It's just a certain generation. They just don't leave.
Yeah,
He's never
just
hit
like-
me. Why would I leave?
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
exactly.
of course, his mood swings result in us having to move houses because he destroys the foundation.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. One time he took so much meth he passed out on top of me, but that doesn't count as hitting. It technically was a headbutt. All right, so we've drafted for the sexual assaulters. We've drafted Shawn Michaels. Oh my god, what a terrible baseball team that I would like to. If by the way, if Vince McMahon went with his original pitch for the XFL, that would have been the Las Vegas team, the Las Vegas sexual assaulters.
I mean, to be fair, it would be in the tradition of how sports teams are named, where it's like, oh, New Orleans Pelicans, because Pelicans is the Louisiana state bird, and sexual assault is the number one purpose for going to Las Vegas.
that was beautiful. Stan Lane, by the way, is my second SA gentleman.
Stan Lane, what does Stan Lane do?
Never been accused of anything, but he said he had so many paternity tests, and that guy bragged enough about sex where I'm just going, you're going on the list,
You're already
Stan.
down to one of the Midnight Express. He's a main
I was-
eventer? Is he a main
Oh,
eventer or was he?
Actually, no. I removed Stan Lane and I'm replacing him with Ric Flair because I was literally like, what am I going to do? Waste Ric Flair?
Ric Flair
And then I
versus
was
Shawn
like-
Michaels? Man, I'm sorry.
Woo!
I love
for team captain. Also for team captain.
watching him sleep.
Like who's team captain though? Because like Sean's period of time was it was much smaller than Ric Flair's is a dynasty.
Shawn Michaels, when he was doing the crimes that he allegedly did,
And discussed in his
basically
book.
Marty Jannetty and some other people have corroborated. Well, he was in the Rockers.
Yeah,
So
he
you
was
have
in
to
the
like
Rockers.
draft the Rockers
Yeah,
because I think that
well,
here's how it worked:
Jan-
is that Shawn Michaels would drug women and then they'd fall asleep, and then he drank one of their drinks one time, and then he figured out, whoa, this is pretty fucking good, and then that's how he was in the 90s.
It's so crazy that he was like, man, lucky girls.
minute.
Yeah.
Jeez, John.
It's like I'm not saying that that's what should be thought. I'm saying that's what Shawn Michaels thought based on the logic you just presented me.
wild ride. All right.
Yeah. Well, this seems like a real hoot.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I get to sleep next to Marty. Yes, please.
Marty Jannetty could be both. Marty
the thing is
Jannetty's
I
nice
think-
draft pick
well,
for both teams.
Here's what I'm saying is Marty Jannetty is the commissioner of the league these two teams are playing in. He's this commissioner Sergeant Slaughter.
Give me one reason I shouldn't fuck my stepdaughter.
Exactly. I'll have
The
everyone-
wildest Facebook status, and no one wanted to talk about it, obviously, because it's just like making light of someone's horrible problems.
I mean, but here's the thing with Marty Jannetty is not dead. Like that guy survived COVID, and there is no way he took any precautions.
Yeah, there's no way. Marty Jannetty was like, went to a hospital because he wanted to taste the ground.
Yeah, Marty Jannetty's one of those guys who showed up in a hospital waiting room and was like, "Where's the COVID patients?" And they were like, "They're in the hospital part." And he's like, "Yeah, that's what I thought. Pandemic indeed."
According to Wikipedia, Marty Jannetty has been married to the same woman since 2010. So
That cannot be accurate.
that is, just like I said, that is according to Wikipedia. I'm trying to look on Marty Jannetty's Facebook fan page right now, so if we got any new tasties.
Like, it is so like if that guy, all that guy had to do was not do drugs to the point he got house arrest for just being on drugs. Like that guy could have had at least a better run in the 90s.
Okay, here's the last status he put. Mortified. What the hell? The Smollett actor guy said he was mortified the day he was jumped. I didn't even know how you get mortified other than good weed. You ever been mortified?
I want to know what year that's from because the Jesse Smollett thing's like got to be 5 years old, and I hope that was like
That was
2 weeks
June 23rd.
of this year.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. That is
Oh,
good
he does that.
stuff.
He's trying to do the fucking, that Eric Alper guy?
No.
Eric Alper's a Twitter account where literally every day it just goes, he goes like, if you were on a desert island, what would the one television show and album you had with you be? Like, you know what I mean? And then that's how what Marty Jannetty's trying to do.
But, like, with
he's just
stories
putting
that-
Facebook statuses up that are just rhetorical questions to his fan base.
Hey, do you guys have any daughters I can sleep with?
Ever feel like doing something wrong that's illegal? That's all.
Is that something that
This is about the stepdaughter again.
Oh no.
No, actually, that is
no.
it. Anyway,
Yeah, okay, the stepdaughter stuff is very much featured.
most of these are just dad jokes. But I mean, he gets a lot of reaction guaranteed because of the stepdaughter.
100% wrestling fans, and I count ourselves in their number, are gross. Because especially they're also building two wrestling factions based on being the two worst types of monsters. Grizzly Smith has to. Did we already do Grizz Smith?
Grizzly Smith was number 2, and then I think we got Marty Jannetty for both.
So yeah, we're now on number 4. See, here's now where it comes down to the real. Well, that's not true actually, because we can of course throw Mr. Rock and Roll Buck Zuboff, the guy who benefited more from Vern Gagne just not knowing what rock and roll was.
the fact that we're doing this seems awful now, and now that we've started doing it.
That's
I
right.
feel like we started shoplifting from an old lady's variety store. We could probably just put literally this draft could be pedophiles could be any wrestler. I would say pre 1980. You can just
And-
put that as a layup, and then any sexual assaulters from the beginning of time until about last year.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say the entire NWO minus Virgil. Because Virgil was just like, Kevin Nash grabbed an ass.
That's true, actually. Yeah, that's right. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking 70s style. I'm thinking 70s movie where it's like, how do we establish he's a bad guy? Brutal rape?
Yeah, okay. Well,
What if
Seven-
we didn't have, hear me out here, a brutal rape in this movie?
How else do we know
Jaws is the bad guy.
Yeah,
Jaws
exactly.
comes out of the water and he fucks that fucking captain.
then let me ask you a question. Why the fuck does Schindler have that list?
Yeah, that's right. If you guys have seen any movies in the 70s, like Death Wish, the first two Death Wishes are like the first one begins with a horrible rape, and the second one has like legit is just like the first 15 minutes. The second one is just rapes, and then you're like, if you could get through that, you're fucked. I don't know. But people would be like, "Hey, I'm gonna take my best gal to watch Death Wish." All right, honey, did you get the popcorn? Ah!
Also,
Ah!
Dylan,
15
look at me.
minutes.
Would you like to know who one of the rapists is?
Jeff
in-
Goldblum's
It's Jeff
first-
Goldblum.
So the first
Feature-
on-screen appearance of Jeff Goldblum and Christopher Guest were in Death Wish.
Death Wish and Jeff Goldblum. You fucking cunt.
There you go.
It is
And
that
then that
movie.
is about how sometimes your fucking guns are sick.
Yeah, Death Wish. Literally, that happens. This is how that guy. Death Wish is like it's this guy. Something so horrible happened to his family, and he just starts shooting people, and he was driven crazy by it. But then you watch that movie, and there is no scene where he's conflicted. It's like, what just happened? All right, let's head to the subway and do some shooting. How about? What do you say? Like, yeah.
That
And by
movie's
the-
great because it's like he goes onto the subway with a sock full of quarters and hits a guy, and he's like, "I feel like God now," and then just starts shooting, and then it's great.
You know what I loved? Charles Bronson hid the fact that he liked moisturizer from the public because he was
That's
afraid he was
funny.
going to lose his manly image.
That's so funny. Anything that is even close to taking care of yourself.
Yeah, of course.
What the hell is that? What's that in that sandwich? Lettuce? You're a pussy. You're the biggest pussy I've ever seen.
You know that this is my favorite fact, which is you want to know how John Wayne died?
Getting rimmed.
No, he died of cancer because the movie Genghis Khan was filmed in a crater where they were testing all of the H bombs.
Oh fuck.
Everyone just died. Everyone
Also, he was
died.
like a known piece of shit.
Oh my
This
god,
is
he
the
was a
thing that,
real
like,
piece of shit.
This is the thing, and we talked about this before, not specifically on these chat episodes, but like, there's a lot of people that remember the '60s for the hippies, but like guys like John Wayne and Bob Hope were very much fuck hippies, fuck this shit, and they were like so popular.
And by the way, that was way more people than like hippie.
Way
The
more
hippie
people.
movement is like historically remembered, but like most people were like, "These fucking as a woman has long hair and a man has short hair. What the hell?" Like,
It'd be like pre-internet. This generation would probably just be remembered for woke people, and it would just be a lot of people who didn't like woke people, or basically characterizing it as woke feels
This-
fucked up.
this generation is being remembered for January 6th. I got news for everybody.
Exactly.
Everyone,
If the internet was around in the 70s or 60s and 70s, they would have been remembered for January 6th in the 1970s because people just like lost their mind on hippies.
Yeah, exactly. They shot like it was literally got to the point that the National Guard went to
You wanna-
Kent State.
You want to let them shit near us? Not
Kill
on
'em.
my watch and Facebook in 1963 or whatever.
Oh my god! You imagine social media in the 50s
God.
would have been.
Oh, God.
I mean, I'm going to say this right now. Social media in the era of Limp Bizkit, no one is famous. Everyone is
sick.
Everyone is everyone just would throw their phones into a lake.
You imagine if they could figure out our old MSN statuses, if those were still around, how horrible that would be.
Mine forever was one bourbon, one scotch, one beer because I like that song by George Thorogood. That's how
I mean,
cool I was.
That's fun.
Yeah, I mean the chat logs, if those exist, I'm leaving the earth.
Yeah, I think I forget what someone said, but someone was like, "Oh, how would you even like charge Mark Zuckerberg with any crime? Because he could just be like, all right, cool, I'm just releasing everyone's WhatsApp chat history in bulk to the rest of your contact list and just like highlighting the times that you use their name. Just you could do that automated and immediately, and then just like here's every time anyone's ever talked shit about you.
I'm in a WhatsApp group that we have openly discussed. If the logs of that WhatsApp group ever were to be leaked, it's just suicide. There's the things that I have said about people in that I don't even believe, but how angry I was in the moment. Goodbye. See you in hell. I don't want to be on this earth anymore. I'm not recovering from that.
That's the thing. I would stand by everything I said.
Yeah. I'm on. What's it?
You're not gonna correct me.
Yeah.
Say that
Uncancelable.
into the air as soon as that happened. I'd be like,
Dylan I guarantee you would befriend Vince McMahon and you'd both be walking out holding hands. This is smack. And then you go, down.
down.
Smack down.
Oh yeah, we'd be two Laurinaitis's.
Yeah, oh my God, right? I don't feel like Vince McMahon would not like either one of us for the reason of because he'd be like, "Oh, look at you, John, so big," and then I'd fall down and be like, "God damn it!" And then he'd look at you and you'd be like, "I'm very athletic, but I am the opposite of what you. If only you were one man." Damn it!
No, he'd yeah. There's no way anyone that looks like me. First of all, he'd just decide I was Jewish, and then
100%, and
he'd be like,
"Well, where's your dreidel?" Ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
and then he'd laugh while he walked away.
Jesus flew I in from Bethlehem.
Jesus is weak. You killed my God.
And then he'd walk away.
Exactly.
How about this for a storyline? You killed God.
Yeah, how about
Goodbye.
this? Okay, I'll let you be in the WWE, but first things first, you admit you killed God.
That's the first thing, too, is that I guarantee that Vince McMahon is the only person who ever saw Goldberg and talked to him who probably constantly references that he's Jewish.
100%.
I can tell. He just like every time Goldberg is like, "Hey Vince, how are you?" He's like,
"Here's how I can tell you're Jewish."
Yeah,
and it's not your last name. I know how they look. I know that you're shapeshifters.
I just had some hummus. You guys love that shit. I just want to say this about the SA versus the P list that we've abandoned.
Okay.
As soon as you brought it up as a topic, in my head I went, "There's no way we finish this list. There's no way."
Well, the other thing is, even if we made the list, people would be very upset because we'd leave people out, and then we'd have to deal with a bunch of comments that are like, actually,
hi, we're the internet wrestling community, and we are very much like we require so much context."
Oh yeah, man. It's almost. I feel like we're close, but it's so close to like. It's so hard to have a podcast that's about wrestling, but is just mostly talking shit. That like. There's an amount of like sports podcasts where it's like accepted like this guy doesn't really know what he's talking about, but they're just like kind of talking shit, and it's like impossible to do that about wrestling.
Well, because it is impossible to do that. Like the Pat McAfee show is one of the most insane things I've ever seen as a media
He's
enterprise.
just fucking standing the whole time too,
He's
which actually
standing-
does make sense.
He's standing the whole time at what seems to be a computer desk, and there's just a guy with weird books that they just go to, and he's like, "That's right, Pat." He's like, "Goddamn right, it's right." Like, also, like, what? Why is Pat McAfee on SmackDown? Why does Michael Cole keep posting weird sycophantic like Instagram posts? I think what it is. I think. Oh yeah. Like Michael Cole's like, "Let me tell you who's the best to work with, and that is a little fella named Pat McAfee, golden voiced, golden." I mean, I only read one, and it was when Pat McAfee updated his contract, so it's very possible Michael Cole is not doing that. But it was just so odd. I just don't like what. Where did he come from? Was this one of those things that just happened in COVID?
So far, Michael Cole, I'm looking at his Instagram, and it is literally, he updated it. How long is 448 weeks ago?
Okay, well then it was on Twitter or something like that. Then, but that's so funny that Michael
just
Cole.
An American flag.
Yeah, it is.
Basically being like JBL made me do this, and then
the American flag, by the way, was posted the day Joe Biden stole that election.
Yeah, there's one post that's Joe Biden took it, and I won't take it. Also, I told someone how old Joe Biden was, and they didn't believe it, and then I told how Donald Trump is. It's great. Either way, 80-year-old president in charge of nukes. We need to nuke the post office. Their lines are too long.
Here's my wild prediction. I don't think it's going to be either one of them. I
Oh,
it's
who you
gonna-
think it's gonna be? Me?
I think it's going to be you versus me. We're both
I agree now.
we're the Republican and the Democrat. You gotta pick one to find out which one we are.
I'm the suck publican, and you're the fucking suck me off Democrat.
That's
Both
right.
Getting sucked off.
Of course, yeah. That's the main part of our platform. We're building a platform so
Yeah,
I
we're
can get
90s guys. That's our platform.
exactly. Remember Clinton? We're
First
doing
things
just
first, I don't sell out, bro. I'm fucking authentic as shit. Second thing is fucking I'll be sitting down until shit gets sorted, dog.
number 3, right? I want someone to explain to me that cigar thing from the fucking Lewinsky Clinton thing because I never ever really. She flayed with herself with a cigar. What the fuck is that?
No, he put it in her vagina, I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing. No one's ever clarified that.
Which guaranteed it's like just because he did that doesn't mean she was into it. I guarantee that put a halt to whatever activities were going down. Because the
Yeah,
only reason
100%.
that got out is Monica Lewinsky was like, yeah, you did this fucking weird thing where you put a cigar in me? And then he was like, yeah. And I said, I guess, man, I don't. Why don't you just. All right.
How often do you think Hillary just punches him in the face? Like if that guy had not gone to like so many different pedophile islands, she's the president in 2016. But from being president until
He'd be the commissioner of the league.
Oh my God, yes. No,
He'd
he's
the pedophile sexual assaulter king.
yeah, he's the guy. He owns the
I'd
arena.
not have
Yeah.
sexual relations with that above age woman.
Yeah, I would
Wink.
like. Yeah.
Wink again.
I would like all of you to leave your hard drives in my office.
Women are like bananas. They're only good for about 2 days.
Yeah, the thing to remember
They're
about
spoiled.
I treat toilets better than I treat women because I respect toilets.
I'll flush a toilet. Ha, 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 ha.
No one makes fun of George Herbert Walker Bush. I always think about that.
I heard today his approval rating was at 89% before that election.
Yeah, that guy, it was just he was like, "We're not gonna do a tax cut," and they're like, "If you don't raise taxes, the economy falls." And he's like, "Ah, shit." Oh yeah, no, he was like George Herbert Walker Bush was basically just Barack Obama, but way more effective.
I don't know if it's on my end
So if you
or John's
So do-
end, but you said he was more effective, which is good.
I'm going to say more effective because he was the head of the CIA and the vice president. That's what I said. But you know what? We're not here to talk about vice presidents. We're here to talk about fucking wrestling vices. Dylan, you watch AEW on the reg. What's going on Dark this week?
I haven't seen or done anything because I've had a lot of traveling, but I'll tell you about this. One of my friends went to AEW, and he said that it is very good on television because he said there was like 4,000 seat arena and there was like 3,500 people there. But he said it was a great live experience. But like, yeah, it's like they're running 4,000 seat arenas. They're like if ECW just kept on going.
That's so crazy. Like they're literally just they're running the Ottawa Civic Center is what that is. Like it's a tiny ass fucking
Yeah, they run secondary arenas and shit. But to be fair, that's kind of like how wrestling was before the WWE. Like the NWA
and
was
also the
doing well.
and the WC and WWE is it's not like they're selling out those fucking arenas. Like there's a lot of camera tricks going on.
Yes, they're not. I don't know much about like the attendance wise specifically, but like they are using a lot of like late era WCW stuff where it's like a lot of thunder. Like everyone get on that side of the screen because the big dogs need to eat first here.
Yeah, it's also what's interesting is I don't hold that against AEW. Like in the end, they've been a company for 3 years. Like
Of course.
that's pretty amazing. Like, there was 3,500 people there, and it was a fourth. Like that sounds fucking pretty banging, actually.
On a fucking Wednesday. And then the other thing is no one thinks about this, but like wrestling events don't choose, hey, we're going to run every wrestling show on a Saturday. Like you're getting all these people out on a Monday or like Friday Night SmackDown. There's no excuse for. That's the weekend. Like they're coming to town on a weekend.
But that's being
like,
filmed on a Tuesday. That's being filmed on a Dylan.
No, it's live.
On a Tuesday. It's on a Tuesday. Oh, yeah, it is
SmackDown's
live now. That's 100% true. That is live.
because SmackDown is on Fox, which is the interesting thing, where it's like TV 14 Raw and still PG SmackDown. So it'll be like, hey, I'm on Raw. I'm gonna say ballsack next week. Like if a guy goes to Raw, he'll be like, I'm switching to Raw, which means my new character's name is Pussy Wiper. I'm no longer the Miz. I'm Pussy Wiper Mike.
I really hope that the post Vince McMahon accusation era is does a version of the brand split, which is Raw is naughty and Facebook and SmackDown's is real nice. So like Raw is literally like, and in the main event, it's the pussy eater versus your mom, but she's been fucked by your dad's friend.
Do you think that Vince McMahon, if this all goes away, will just really, really try and hire one of the people he gave the NDA to and kill them live on television and see if anything happens?
That's 100% what's going to happen. You're 100% correct on. I guarantee that the reason why that USA has made them go TV 14A is because they've read Vince McMahon's plans and they're like, Jesus Christ. And he's like, yeah, they won't let me talk about him because of where you're from in Israel. It's just like, oh my God.
I don't know if we give him too much credit and like think that he's just everything's gonna like work out because there's no consequences for billionaires. But I do think that's
what I come down to is it's not that there's no consequences, is that there would need to be a lot of people to stop watching the company. And here's the thing with wrestling fans, they're like, this fucking monster, I'm not gonna fucking watch until next Monday at about 8 p.m. Then I will be back. But you know what I mean? And the fact, like, I think what it is, it's a palace coup in the end. Is Stephanie fucking leaked it to get her dad out of the way, and her and Paul are not gonna fucking teabag that Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I think it's a palace coup.
That's right.
It's straight up Succession stuff.
Yeah, but I by the way hate that. Like Succession is doing it very like ham-handed and ridiculous. Like the real stories are so much crazier. Sumner Redstone just had dementia and was in charge of Viacom for like 10 years. Like you understand like how crazy the world really is.
Yeah, like how hard it is to actually wrest power from these people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said in the first part of the episode when we were talking about Vince McMahon too, though, it's like this dude has all these shares and there's no way he'll fucking ever sell them. Like they can kick him off the board somehow. I don't know how it works, but there is I guess a reality where Vince McMahon is not allowed to be on creative but still has most of the shares, and I just don't know what that reality is like.
So I think this is how it worked with the Rogers family in Canada, is that they'd make a new board. And they'd be like, and then that board would vote to change what Vince McMahon's stocks are. Or they'd vote to buy him out slowly over. Like they would do something. I think you can do that. Like there would be like a shitload of lawsuits to do it, but I think there is a way involving like, okay, well this board has been corrupted by your crime, so we move to make a new board. And then that board can be like, we now determine that you have to hand these stocks over in exchange. Like, so what they would do is not take all, but like enough that they could buy for a cash sum as the company. And then it's like, all right, well, he's now dilutes his power.
It's so funny about sports and wrestling where it's like the amount of stuff we know about how television ratings work now and about like through sports, just about how the human anatomy works is crazy.
Yeah. And yet, but like we have all of this information and yet there isn't a clean cut, like the guy at the top of the company is a dirty, filthy groper. How do we get him out? And it's like, well, your company gropes people now. That's what it does. You guys make gropes.
And like the way people view wrestling is like that. Like we've said this a million times, but it's like, oh yeah, well yeah. I mean, of course he's like wrestling stupid, so of course he gropes people.
Yeah, this is the other thing that's sort of crazy. Is it's like, yeah, he's just a fucking, yeah, it's fucking wrestling. You know, everything's fake, including those fucking women's accusations. Like it's.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like there's so much of it's greeted that way. We're like, I guarantee if you're like, man, Vince McMahon's being taken down for for like grabbing women, people will be like, again, I assume he'd done that before. And it's like, yeah, me too.
Was it Siegfried and Roy? One of them got eaten by a tiger.
That's right, Roy. That was one of the wild. That was the 2000s are so much crazy. Like 9/11 was just the beginning, Dylan, which is sort of what Osama bin Laden had planned. Go ahead.
But like Siegfried and Roy, they fucking got eaten by a tiger, and no one was like, "Oh my god!" They were like, "Yeah, if I could play with swords, fuck you."
Yeah, fucking yeah. Play
Same
with fire,
thing
get
with
burned.
what's his name? Stabbed by a fucking what's his name? Australian guy, alligator.
Steve Irwin. Another example. That, by the way, stand-up comedy was so bad in the 2000s for 3 reasons. Every comedian had a Steve Irwin joke.
Mm.
They had a Survivor joke, and they had a
Survivor, yeah.
George W. Bush is a dumb guy joke.
Well, those. I mean, he did say some stuff. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. You
can't get fooled again. I
That's
mean,
what's
I
up.
still maintain that guy got shoes thrown at him and ducked so like that guy.
He ducked so well, and then he said, "Who?"
He
told you
ducked
to?"
so yeah, he ducked so well, and no one was like, that guy's a puss. Everyone was like, did you see how well that guy ducked that guy's shoe? Like, it's pretty crazy they haven't done more stuff to that guy.
It's also funny that like that guy's responsible for so much death and destruction, and then just the most we could happen is someone threw a shoe at him. It's like fucking take a loafer to the face, buddy.
This is the crazy thing. I think this was pointed out to me by another comedian named, I'll say it, Phil Wang. Phil Wang pointed this out, which he's like, you know what's crazy about the world? Tony Blair and George W. Bush are like full war criminals. Like they had total knowledge. There was no reason to go in Iraq. They are literally the reason why like 2 million people don't have power is because they were like, we got to get this oil, baby. Gordon Brown saved the world after 2008. Like he saved the world's economy because he's such a fucking loser for math.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone in the world is like, Gordon who? He has one eye. He can fuck off. Like, no.
Ooh,
absolutely
old one
not.
blink? Yeah, you got 2 eyes to blink, bitch. Get out of here.
Exactly. I wanted someone to blink left eye, right eye.
That's what. Not enough blinking going on.
Not enough. Dylan, let's wrap this chat episode up by talking about our favorite
Actual wrestling? All
our,
right.
our favorite
Oh, yeah,
SummerSlam
SummerSlam.
moments. So, Dylan, I think everyone's favorite SummerSlam moment for me is, when do you think SummerSlam? Do you think the marriage of Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth, the match made in heaven, and of course the match made in hell?
I think about that. Yes, I think about how I'm like, when are they gonna fight? I do want to beat the shit out of you.
That was those were Miss Elizabeth's vows. For me, SummerSlam is weird in that SummerSlam always feels like they're trying to make another WrestleMania, but it's just not as impactful. Like it's just kind of like, okay.
It is a throwback pay-per-view because it's like the other two big ones, the other of the two big four have gimmicks. Like WrestleMania is obviously WrestleMania. That's the culmination of all your biggest matches.
Yeah. Survivor Series had
obviously,
the
and
teams
then
of
Royal
5.
Rumble, obviously, and then SummerSlam is just like, we're gonna have another one too. I don't know. It's weird. It starts the year. It starts the wrestling year for me. To be honest, it's like if wrestling was the way wrestling should be, where you let the guys have some time off, then you would.
You're 100% right.
Yeah, you would totally just. SummerSlam would be the first event of the year. If they just let them have time off. No, but my SummerSlam memory, as I try and rejig my memory here, of course, I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker when we were in Edinburgh, and it was like 6 a.m. and Brendan said,
that was
we'll
John
sell it
Cena,
out, and there was 10 people.
It was that was
It was Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker.
Oh my God, that was great. First of all, we didn't say it was going to sell out. One man.
No, Brendan Burns said that.
Brendan Burns said it was. Oh, I thought you said, and then someone told it, and I was Brendan Burns said.
And then Colt Cabana went to sleep because he was like, I'm tired.
No, we all went to. I remember because I left. Because I remember I was walking there. I got called by my ex-girlfriend who just yelled at me for not calling her, and I remember ending the conversation by saying, "We broke up. You don't call your ex."
Yeah, you don't expect anything. I don't
know,
what
the fuck?
Some women are like, why aren't we friends? It's like, well, I don't know, man. We went past that, and now it's painful.
Yeah. And I remember I walked in, Colt Cabana was not there. I remember being very hungry. I remember saying this, and then Colt Cabana showed up with so much Nando's and did not share that Nando's with
No, he
us.
did not. No, he liked it.
he
He
did
sat
not.
at the back. He sat at the back dressed like a fucking
No, he
PE
didn't.
teacher eating.
No, he sat at
Nando's.
the front. He sat at the front with us while the audience watched us watch SummerSlam, and he ate so much chicken. That's what I remember.
That's good stuff.
I remember
Honestly,
that.
no. And the other one, my other memory is Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship in 2018.
Mine
Oh, and then
also-
of course Brock Lesnar. You get the idea.
Mine, of course, was 2014, watching Brock Lesnar, John Cena at the Edinburgh Fringe, and Troy Conrad, the inventor of Setlist, who had never watched wrestling in his life, raised very Christian was our Troy, sat down and went, "Ooh, Brock Lesnar from the UFC. I loved him in the UFC. Oh my God, that guy's not taking this match seriously. He's wearing shorts and sneakers." And then Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of him, and he was like, "Yeah, it makes sense. If someone walked into the ring and was wearing shorts and sneakers, I beat the shit out of him too. Wrestling makes a lot of sense to me." And I was like, Troy, this is the only time this has ever made sense ever. This is so funny. Where you're just like, what's he
Dude.
dressed like?
As I'm looking at over the main events for SummerSlam, there's so many just straight up bad ones. All right, so the first,
Oh my God.
honestly, the first one ever is probably the best one, which is the Mega Powers versus the Mega Bucks. So, all right, we'll literally do this, and then we'll end the episode here. All right, here's how it goes. So, good versus bad main events. Mega Powers with Mega Bucks. You would say that's good, right?
Yeah, the next one I think is
Beefcake and Hogan versus Savage and Zeus.
Is it Beefcake and Hogan versus Savage and Zeus? It's the
Yes.
first match that then was rematched on the
Tuesday
no holds
ones.
no holds barred, the movie, the match, and the match
Mhm.
beyond.
Mhm.
Yeah, oh my God.
Oh
That's
yeah,
crazy.
because that was when they were like, "Oh, you get SummerSlam and you get no holds barred."
No, they did SummerSlam, then they did another pay-per-view where we get no holds barred, and then Hulk Hogan and Zeus and Beefcake and Macho King. If you watch Survivor Series 88 or 89, they're setting up like that thing is like 3 weeks from there. It's sort of like watching the Survivor Series that's right before Tuesday in Texas, where every match just ends with, "There's no way to know what will happen unless you watch it this Tuesday in Texas."
So, okay, Ultimate Warrior versus Rick Rude in a steel cage match. You could say that's a good one.
Pretty all right. Except, the Ultimate Warrior had already beaten him at WrestleMania before, and there was no heat to that match because they had Hulk Hogan return and slam Earthquake before it.
Yeah, and then there was Hogan and Warrior versus Slaughter, General Adnan,
Banger.
and Arnold Mustafa,
That match is a fucking banger. That match
which
rules.
was hilarious because it was like a handicap match. But I'm also like, this is so wait, these two jacked huge guys versus like all of these beer belly guys.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like these three guys are tired versus steroids. Also, fun fact about that match: it's the match where Ultimate Warrior was like, "I'm gonna need fucking 250 grand."
That's sick.
And,
I mean, good for him.
Yeah,
How dare he hold up that sexual assaulter guy?
yeah. How dare he?
How dare he hold that rapist up? Anyway, Bret Hart versus Bulldog, clearly great.
Classic drug addict
Um,
versus man who's just trying to control stuff.
Yoko versus Lex Luger.
Congrats.
Here's
That
where-
would have been a great.
Here's where it
That would
gets
have been
good, though.
that would have been a great match if not for how weird the finish is. Go ahead.
Here's where it gets good. 1994.
Oh no.
Undertaker versus Undertaker.
This is Undertaker. Yeah, what a match! What a match! What a concept!
Mhm.
Is that the one where Leslie Nielsen's trying to track him through the arena?
I hope so.
Oh God,
No,
I think it is.
That's a WrestleMania, I think.
Or Survivor Series. There's one with Chuck Norris and Leslie Nielsen. I think that might be a Survivor Series.
That might
By
be
the
a
way,
Survivor Series.
Out of context, that sounds That sounds like they're
Let's
about
go.
to just announce the next Republican nominee. We got Chuck Norris and Leslie Nielsen.
I will say this though, Chuck Norris is what I would say, and Kevin Federline fall into this. They are perfect wrestling celebrities because they
I
are
completely
already
agree with you.
so silly. Yeah.
And also, there is some level of athletic ability. So even if they get involved, it's like just kick them and it'll be fine. Like I remember, like Chuck
Do
Norris
your
does a
thing,
spin,
done.
does a spin kick, and like again, it's been said before and said again. Kevin Federline is the best heel of the Ruthless Aggression era.
Better than Edge.
Yeah, that's right. What is after Undertaker versus Undertaker? I feel like
Diesel
this next one
versus
is going to
King
be.
Mabel.
Oh my God, we are in the real briar patch now. So if it's Diesel versus King Mabel, so then I think the next one is going to be the beginning of like the Austin run. So it's going to be really weird. Like it'll be like,
No.
what is
Michaels
it?
versus Vader.
Oh, okay. So yes, it is. But I just totally forgot Michaels versus Vader. Oh my God.
Well, this is the interesting thing. Like, so SummerSlam is it's weird because it's booked a lot like Backlash, but it's like the next one is 97 is Undertaker versus Bret Hart,
For
and
the
Shawn
title,
Michaels
yeah.
is the guest referee.
It's one of the best pay-per-views the WWE's ever put together. That pay-per-view fucking rules. So
Yeah,
you watch,
that's
you
like
can,
97, 98 is
you can
Austin
watch
versus
Steve Austin
Undertaker.
almost die. You understand? Like,
Well, yeah, that's what we all want. We just want to see a man die.
yeah, that's right. What
My
are you
favorite
watching
wrestling
for?
event is Faces of Death.
Yeah, my favorite wrestling event is just the weird Steadicam footage of what happens to the wrestlers after the tournament of death. Tournament.
Then we get 1999 is Austin versus Mankind and Triple H, and Jesse Ventura is a special
Oh
guest
my
referee.
God, I watched that baby live.
Oh yeah, and
Has
then
po-
go for
One
it.
of the weirdest promos between Chris Jericho and a Road Dogg. It's like 30 minutes long for no reason.
Yeah, that's when like I remember as a young internet wrestling fan at that point, everyone loved Jericho, and I was just kind of like, but he's really like being that annoying as a heel just doesn't play well as a babyface because it's like he's still just super. Now I have to find him funny, even though he's clearly very annoying.
I mean, he works so good in WCW. WCW, he was crackers, mate.
The Rock against Angle and Triple H is the year 2000. Then we get
Good.
Booker T versus The Rock for the WCW.
Oh yeah, because it would have been the invasion.
Yeah,
my
this
God.
is like solidly. And then
This,
we
I
get,
think the next few are going to be the next one. I think is Lesnar,
yeah, Lesnar and Rock.
Lesnar and Rock. Then the one after that is the one after that Hogan, Michaels.
No, that's 2005. Then the one after that is Triple H versus. Oh, the first is the first Elimination Chamber, so that was great. And then,
Oh yeah.
Benoit losing to Orton is.
Whoops.
2004. And he lost in Toronto. Wow.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Make
Well,
that
fuck
murderer.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know what you're gonna do. Vince McMahon has the third sight.
Then Hogan, Michaels. Then you get which is what like SummerSlam should just be matches like Hogan Michaels. If they could just like hold off and only do like a dream match, because like it's weird. People don't really lose the title at. Well, I guess they do. Edge.
Yeah, they
versus
definitely do.
Cena. That was a great
Wild.
match.
I
remember.
don't remember any of these now. I feel like the next one might be Nexus. No, Nexus is in like 2 years. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Cena Edge.
Cena
Or, like,
Edge, yes, and then Cena Orton, and then Edge versus Undertaker in 2008.
Wild. And then the next one's Nexus.
And then this is the crazy thing for the next from 2009 to 2014, they have every SummerSlam in the Staples Center.
I did know this. They did like a deal with them to do it
Yeah.
always in LA.
And then it was the next 4 years. Crazy. The next 4 years are all in Brooklyn. And so anyway, then we get Nexus. Who's Team WWE for the Nexus? Cena, Bret Hart,
Bret Hart.
Chris Jericho, Daniel Bryan, Edge, John Morrison, and R-Truth. Like that's how much
Like they were so
fucking
close
terrible.
to doing
And this
such
is not
a
Daniel
good
Bryan.
idea.
Like this is not Daniel Bryan established as a star whatsoever.
No, this is Daniel Bryan using Dan Severn's theme, and his gimmick is he makes little fists when he walks to the ring.
Yeah, exactly. And like the Miz is constantly calling him short, and he's like, "Yes, you just
I
listen to
am.
that. I am, and I'm a bitch."
Yeah, his gimmick is he just cries and jacks off in the corner. I'm so sorry. I'm about to stain it. I'm gonna stain it.
Oh, that makes me
Oh,
horny.
oh, my dick is crying. Yogurt.
You made me spill dairy out of my pencil.
No, Dylan. No, thank you.
CM Punk versus Alberto Del Rio. Then Lesnar versus Triple H. For fucking Triple H. I remember Triple H beats Lesnar. Right? No.
Of course, this was they literally had to
Great.
give up the streak because they brought Lesnar in to be like, well, the first thing you have to do is lose to Triple H about 8 times. Why is that? Well, because he hasn't stopped
You gotta be
crying.
a team
since-
player.
Yeah, and that team is a team of losers. You're a loser.
Oh yeah, and then Daniel Bryan losing to Randy Orton after he had just won the title is 2013. In the we're fucking never giving this guy the title. John Cena versus Brock Lesnar is 2014. That's a good
Classic.
one.
Yeah, and then there's
Lesnar
John
versus
Cena.
Undertaker obviously in Edinburgh we talked about. Lesnar versus Randy Orton, where Jericho stood up to Lesnar, and then they both agreed that everything they've ever heard that doesn't prove their political opinions is a lie, and they made out backstage.
Yeah, they fully did.
Yeah.
This is the craziest thing about Donald Trump is before that Chris Jericho and Brock Lesnar had nothing in common, and now they have everything in common.
Brock Lesnar versus Strowman, Reigns, and Samoa Joe
Oh, what?
in 2017. Oh yeah, that was a match I remember being like, wow, they could really put the title on Strowman or Samoa Joe, and everyone would, and that's how I knew it would never happen.
Yeah.
This is the weird thing about Lesnar. Lesnar is great, but they've steamrolled so many people who would have just totally made sense if they just went against Brock Lesnar. Anyway, Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. No. Lesnar versus Reigns. Lesnar versus Rollins. Here's the Thunderdome one in 2020. Braun Strowman versus The Fiend.
Fuck yeah, bro. Let me
You
ask
look
you
at
this.
this now, and it's like, oh, these
you
are good
think-
events, but it's so boring.
Do
20,
you think
the whole Brooklyn era. Sorry, go for it.
Do you think that Roman Reigns just walked in on Vince with that paralegal and Vince God damn it. Oh, so Vince, I guess I'm gonna be the head of the table.
I think that Vince McMahon loves Samoans. I think
agree
Vince
with you.
McMahon loves Samoans because
They're tall.
Jimmy Snuka did what it took.
Yeah.
You're like, Snuka, you'll fucking
Do
kill
you wanna
somebody.
know
Actually, I'm
why?
a happily married family man.
Oh, forget I heard that.
Do you want to know why Jimmy did that to what's her face? She was rude to me.
Jesus Christ. Roman Reigns versus John Cena, which was great. And, of course, coming up, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the undisputed Universal
Good.
Championship. Last
Thank
man
God.
standing match to end the rivalry, I guess.
Finally, we're getting what no one has asked for yet again. Brock Butcher versus Bloodline Reigns.
Where it's like, just have fucking... Why do you need these guys near the title? Whatever. We're not going to,
Yes, we are,
talk
Dylan.
about what a man who clearly... A rapist who's also insane now wants wrestling to be.
It's a great. Yeah,
I
that's a
feel
great-
like
what-
from now on, we should just be like, anytime someone starts talking about how WWE creative stinks passionately, we should just say, I can't believe that rapist did that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't believe that guy who covered up a murder was also
Yeah.
involved in all those NDAs.
Wait a minute. That rapist did something that doesn't make sense?
Wait a minute,
Crazy.
that guy who gave an interview in Playboy where he's like, "You want to know who I like cheating on? This guy's mom." Yeah, that guy turned out to be a real fucking creep. No shit.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get
but-
there, though, John. Don't worry. You'll have a wife that just, deals with all your infidelities.
I think I would be I'm of the two of us. I think I'm the least likely to cheat.
Of the two of us? Hell yeah.
That's
'cause
right.
I'm fucking cheating right now.
Yeah, you are. Also, this is what I know about you: is you are, if anything, you are a man who will stand up from a table and go, "I've had about enough of this," and then you'll just leave for 45 minutes, come back, and no one will ever ask you where you were or what you did, but you'll be a much happier person after.
I was full cheating. I was full cheating. I paid for cheating. I said, I have gathered this money through my hard work, and I was to spend it on cheating.
I
On my
paid
wife.
for my cheating.
Let me explain the hard work I did to accrue this money, and now I will wrong
Yeah.
my wife morally.
I took a union job at a school so I could pay to cheat on my wife. Welcome to the Dylan Gott story.
Here's one of the benefits. I get to cheat. That's one of the benefits of this job. So I think this is either a chat episode or we're going to release it on the main feed, depending on our schedules. So if it is on the main feed, this is what a chat episode is. We literally just fucking fuck around.
Yeah, it's pretty. As you can see, we come up with a lot of good skits, and then we bail on them quickly and keep talking about wrestling. SummerSlam, really bad main events. I am really taken aback, but some of those main events are shockingly bad.
Well, it's like you said. There's no real like branding other than like, hey, it's fucking summer. Here's this
Yeah.
bullshit.
Hey, these guys are hot. Brock's he's gonna fight a shark. I think that's at the beach. I don't. Like, fuck you. How about
I
that?
don't know, man. They're all. I guess you can't. They're all kind of already in bathing suits. Maybe this one's in the water. Who cares?
Yeah, like, are you guys like wearing anything tight that I could maybe like also wear?
If you're here, who's at your house? Can I go to your house? I'm gonna be in your house, man.
Yeah, man. Like, when are you gonna leave here? Because I'm gonna run a hypothetical by you. I'd like to wear your clothes.
Yeah. All right. So when do you go to bed? Because I'm just calculating when you're in full REM sleep, so I can just watch that shit.
Yeah, like I want to fucking see what it's like when you sleep.
But I'm gonna be chewing loud, so I don't want you to wake up. But no one's gonna wake up to just chewing. So I'm just trying to do the math here of when I get to see you sleep.
All right, so that's the rest review.
That was my impression of me. Anyway,
if you're
yeah,
listening to this on Patreon, we love you, and if you're listening to this on the main feed, you can fuck off. Come
drink
to my
shit.
Ember.
I
Please come
fucking
to my
eat
Ember
piss.
show. Please also watch my social media. As I'm doing a bunch of extra shows on different things. So I'm hosting a show with comedian Laura Davis, and we're gonna show you a bunch of comedians. That'll be fun, and some other shows may be announced very soon that wrestling fans may or may not like.
Ooh.
I'm a
Thanks so much,
tease.
guys. Mwah.
Suck.